Hello, this is Jordan Brunt, and this is my BCM 113 podcast where I talk about moral issues and media complications throughout the major media platforms. On my major topic today, I'm going to just be discussing the travesties of cancel culture and how damaging it can be to not only the influencers but as well the audience. I'm also here with one of my good friends, Jaden Masalungan. You want to introduce yourself?
Hey guys.
Yeah, so we're gonna kick it off with a quote. Cancel culture is a pretentious form of bullying, and I also want to know your stance on cancel culture as well.
I think cancel culture in itself is a really complicated sort of new fad that, well, especially the Gen Zs themselves are getting into. We find that a lot of people are now just conforming to what they think should be cancelled based on what everyone else tells them should be cancelled.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think that's the big issue we've got here is that it isn't really about an individual's thoughts. It's again just the thoughts of everyone else in society.
Yeah, and it really outlines the duality and the both sides of the spectrum, considering how big a person is on the platform, how small a person is on the platform. If you're prominent on a media platform, you're more inclined to comply with people's ideals because you don't really want to piss off your fan base. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
A lot of those big people, they're the ones who really are like, how do I say? They need the attention of people. Do you know what I mean? They need everyone to like them.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is a business. They need to comply with fans' ideals of how they were going to react to their content. Because that's how they make a living. That's why I understand the issues of cancel culture, because it can be controlling towards people's ideals, and I feel like it's very damaging to people's mindsets towards certain agendas.
100%. And I think it's with this whole cancel culture sort of, like I said, fad that we've got now. It's really preventing a lot of people to express how they really feel or believe what they want to believe, because now you've got a large number of people, arguing that a certain way of thinking or a certain way that you think of is completely incorrect, or you deserve to be, quote unquote, cancelled for it. Which I think, which is really unfair.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that also goes by a tweet from Monroe Berghoff who says, you have some self-work to do when workness becomes more about catching others out than it does helping them to improve their worldview. This isn't a competition, it's a process. Canceling someone won't help them grow. Humiliating someone won't help them be better. And I feel like that's really sums up the whole controversy of cancel culture, because this allows people to grow, this allows people to improve and educate themselves, when you're just damaging the whole, putting them down, canceling them, shunning them from all, media success, you know what I mean?
100%. And like, the whole issue with this that I find is that now you've got a massive group of, people arguing a certain way, and you've got basically everyone else just agreeing with it because that's how they believe. And again, it's like you're forcing people's own opinions on something else that you shouldn't really do. Like, if you and I said something, right, and offended maybe 2 or 3 people, and we got attacked to get cancelled, we're going to have a whole bunch of people following suit, cancel them. But what for? Do you actually even understand why? Does it actually affect you? And I think that's an issue we've got with cancel culture. No one's thinking for themselves anymore. It's just whatever.
And that also brings up the issue of what extent can cancel culture be justified. I think there's a lot of problems that associate with cancel culture, is that people would find like tweets. They'll dig up tweets from like 10 or 12 years ago, and they'll bash them for something that they previously did, and it's something that they're not proud of. It's something that they bring up, and I feel like it's really damaging. I feel like it's really bad to bring up things in the past because we don't know if they're gonna grow or not. We don't know if they've gotten better, and I feel like it really disallows people to improve and be educated. You know what I mean?
100%. And like I said, with just everybody just following suit on whatever someone else wants to say. You're not educating yourself on the matter. You're just agreeing because someone else said it.
Yeah. With the ambiguous nature of cancel culture, a person who undergoes this form of public shaming likewise has an extremely vague and unclear path to redemption. So I feel like when someone is canceled, I feel like they have really limited way of climbing back up to their prior success. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes it can be justified. There's a lot of social media influencers who do advocate for a lot of terrible things that are going on, especially in media. A lot of people who are racist. There's a lot of influencers that have indulged and used the N word, for example. Especially in TikTok, because TikTok is such a large platform now. It has a growing audience. I feel like with someone who, with this degree of how they're experiencing and what they're exuding for themselves and their image, I feel like something like that, or saying the N word, I feel like that's justified. That's just my opinion. So I just want to know how you feel about it.
I totally agree. There's things that should be said and things, well, not should, but can be said, and things that can't. I think anything that directly marginalizes or affects a racial group or sector of people is something that you shouldn't be saying.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, I think that there's also things that you can say. I think you should feel safe to freely say without having any backlash for it.
Yeah.
Like if it's an opinion, a lot of. Well, look, for example, everyone who said, "Oh, I support Trump" or "I support, Biden," the whole presidential race, you had a lot of people arguing, "Oh, if you support Trump, you support rapists." It's like that's not really the point people are trying to get at.
Yeah, it denies people's ideals. It denies people's opinions. It doesn't give people a right to have an opinion. Because let's be for real, like, no matter what we say, we're always directly conflicting someone else's ideals, always conflicting someone
100%.
else's group. So if we learn to have sensitivity towards people, if we learn to have insensitivity towards people's opinions, I feel like like our society will go better. That's something that this generation lacks. Because when something is said, they feel like it's a direct attack on them, and it can be, it leads people to shun them, or leads people to cancel them, or in this context.
Look at that union star that got fired and lost his job. What was his name? Israel Folau or whatever, right? Based on his own religious beliefs, he was cancelled because of something that he said. And again, I understand, maybe the way he put things might not have been the most effective way to go about it, but he's just expressing his own religious views, and yet, it wasn't supported by the public, and he was cancelled for it.
Yeah, exactly. And this also goes with the tweet that Callum McSwiggan said, cancel culture is never helpful. It doesn't matter who it is or what they've done. It's not productive and it's not healthy. Either give constructive criticism or unfollow / block them. Dragging people for sport is not the most toxic part of social media, and we need to stop fueling it. And I completely agree with that tweet. And I completely agree with that statement. Dragging someone and making them feel bad for something that they've done in the past, it really doesn't help the situation at all. It really just makes it worse.
It doesn't, because something you and I said 10 years ago, or something someone said 10 years ago, is a completely different matter at the hand. Like, we have different mindsets back then, not even just different mindsets, but different levels of maturity. There was different, how can I say, influences on us. So of course, what we said a long time ago, I feel shouldn't really impact you directly, now.
Yeah. And before we wrap things up, is there any final remarks that you would like to say regarding the topic we've discussed today?
No, I think we covered it all.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to leave it off with a quote from George Orwell. The further a society drifts from truth, the more it will hate for those who speak it. So I feel like that really sums up, people's it really sums up the premise of cancel culture. So
100%.
Yeah. I also want to thank you for joining me on my podcast today. I feel like we got a lot discussed, and I feel like it was a good discussion.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. All right. Thank you.